And wow, a gamble here right off the bat. An onside kick to begin the game. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. Now there's two sides to every coin. You come on the road, you get the onside kick to start the game. What a boost, but you don't get it. And now your back's against the wall a little bit.
You're exactly right. You nailed it perfectly. And so many ways to go at it when you're on the road. You think to yourself, well, if we start on defense, we blitz them early to try and create a big play. If we start on offense, we throw the big pass downfield. In this case, they said, forget all of that. Let's do it on special teams and try and catch them off guard with an onside kick unsuccessfully.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Hurts a handoff to Sanders, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
On the ground with a tight end. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On second down, it's Sanders, and he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the 8, they've got it 1st and goal. They'll run with Sanders. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now a carry for Sanders. And he's in for the Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Now that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. A big play here for Dallas.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
Elliott. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2nd and goal from the 1. Again, it's Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Zeke Elliott able to find his way in from a yard out. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 50. 30. 20. Boy, that got pretty close to disaster. Going for two, you cough it up. They almost returned it all the way to the other end for two for themselves.
You think electron ball security is in order here?
Absolutely.
And it's not just taking care of it, it's what you just talked about. What can result when you don't take care of it? They almost gave up a score.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Scott on the return out of the end zone. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run in Sanders. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there for Philly.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. 50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Now Sanders. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Here's Sanders. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Eagles touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run for Miles Sanders. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. Touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. Pollard to return from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. But he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. CD, he tried to kind of lob that one in there. It looked pretty going through the air. The problem was it was in the air a little bit too long.
Yeah, and that's a tough one because for that type of a route and what he tried to do and needed to do, he had to put a little air under it, and the defender was actually able to take advantage of it because it hung up there just long enough for him to get there and take it away.
Hurts throw there, complete to Rodgers. Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And just a yard to go here on second down. Throwing is Hurts. Open man is Goddard, the tight end.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They go play action with Hurts. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Keanu Neal with a safety blitz for the sack. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So they recovered the fumble that ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position with the 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Pollard to return from the end zone. And he's going to be taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
play of the half. Prescott. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. Pollard to return from the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the save. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Play action now. Prescott. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation. Run and punt the football or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're going to try and throw. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. That would have been a first down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. So that'll back them up 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. Rolling to his right. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Nifty job there on the scramble. Got 12 yards. And now it's 2nd down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
2nd down and 3. They'll run with Sanders. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Sanders, and he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders punching it in from a yard away. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. Touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. Pollard to return from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team. Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Prescott off play action. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Going for it all. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, 27 yards. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. And they use that height on the outside to get the score. We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination. Always good to have wide receivers with height. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go. With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running. I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone. And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Play action. Here's Hurts.
He'll buy some time, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Hurts to throw. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. They'll roll him out right. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 86 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Forced out to his left. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now back to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And he's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Davis got it. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Good on the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. To return from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do?
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. The 20. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, You tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
From the red zone now, Prescott. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard